Hello, I'm Nana Kwakudia, a student at BSBI reading real estate and asset management in Berlin, Germany. Okay, so do these things before you acquire a land in Ghana. Are you a diasporan out there and you want to get a land in Ghana? So I'm going to take you through what our laws say, the Land Act 1036, which was enacted in 2020. What does it say? Okay, so now there are three categories of people that can purchase lands in Ghana. Number one, we have a family member. Number two, we have a Ghanaian who is not a family member. And then number three is a foreigner. Okay, so now let's look at a family member. When I say a family member, what I mean is that, for instance, if maybe you are a Ga or you are an Ashanti and you come from Osu, you are a Ga, you come from Osu. If you are buying a land from Osu, because you are a family member, how you're going to be treated is different from if an Ashanti wants to buy a land from Osu. So there is always a difference between a family member and a Ghanaian who is not a family member. Okay, so this is what the law says. If you are a family member and you want to get a land in Ghana, we call something allodia right. So the allodia is the usufruct right that they give to the family member. Mostly, it is being taken care of by the family head, heretofore known as Ebusuapanyin. Now, people will come to you and say, this is a family land, so come for it and go for it. They will give you a whole lot of explanations. But trust me, if you don't take care, you are going to be scammed. For instance, if I come to you and I say I'm from Oyoko clan, I'm from Osu, so because I'm a family member, I want to sell a land to you at Osu. Maybe I want to sell the whole of Osu Cemetery to you. Do not follow because I said I'm a family member, I speak fluent Ga, and I'm from Osu. It means that the land belongs to me. Number one, what you have to do as a family member is to identify the clan or the family head, here known as Ebusuapanyin, because they have the inherent right of the land. So for instance, when you go to Ashanti region has two lands. So all the lands are managed by the Manshia Secretariat. So every land is being gazetted by Manshia. So if you want to buy a land, for instance, you don't go to Manshia directly, but then you have to go to, if it is Abuontem, if it is Ebuakwa, if it is wherever, you go to the chief, the stool chief over there, and make sure that they have the inherent right of it. If not, don't buy. If not, you don't buy the land. Once you have been able to identify the chief, because you are a family member, it is your right to own that land. So the traditional leader, the chief or the family or the clan head will allocate you the land. Then you go to the customary secretariat. So for instance, if you buy a land from a family, they should take you to a secretariat where you are given a receipt, given an allocation paper to indicate that you are a family member and that the land has been given to you. Mostly, family members are entitled to a freehold purchases. So, for instance, if you are a family member of Osu and you buy the land from Osu, you are entitled to it forever. It's a freehold. So a freehold means you buy it forever and there is no obligations attached to it. So number one, you must identify the family head, the traditional head of that particular place that you want to buy. If you are a family, you go to the traditional leader or the chief or the Ebusuapanyin, and then they will allocate the place and then transfer it to you. You continue the transaction at the customary secretariat. Make sure that you get receipts, you have the allocation papers and everything. That is what section 15 of the Land Act says. Yes, you must make sure that it is done, and it is done right as a family member. It is a freehold. It's not leasing. It's not, they don't give it to you for a particular time. It is yours forever because you are a family member. Okay, in that same vein, if you are not a family member, let's say I'm an Ashanti and I reside in Greater Accra region, so I want to purchase a land in Greater Accra region. I do not have the same right as a family member, as a Ga. Yes, so I'm not entitled to a freehold transaction. What I am entitled to is a lease, which is mostly included in the indenture, stating how many years you are entitled to use a land for. So, for instance, I have a land in Accra, and as a foreigner to Greater Accra, because I'm an Ashanti, so because I'm a foreigner to Greater Accra, you are not entitled to a freehold. They give it to you for a maximum of 90 years, 70 years, depending on how long you are supposed to get it. Yes. So you go through that lease interest, you get whatever documents, mostly the site plan. In Kumasi, they call it cadastre. So you get the site plan, you go to Lands Commission, you do your search, and then you make sure that the land is in the name of the traditional leaders before you buy it. Please don't make a mistake. People are buying lands and they are losing their money. When you go to part of Accra, it is serious. It is very serious. People are buying lands and they are always in court. You go to Adenta court, you go to wherever court, and there are land issues everywhere in Accra. Accra land issues are very massive because people do not do due diligence. Okay, so you buy the land from the family members, you go through the processes, you go and do a search at Land Commission, and then you make sure that the land is genuine. Then you make sure that you get all your documents. You are not entitled to a freehold land. They give it to you as a lease interest or a grant to do something, and then you transfer it back to the owners at the time that they give you. When the time is up, when the lease time is up, you are entitled for a further bargain. So for instance, if they give you 90 years as the lease period, when it is up, you are entitled to bargain for another 45 years. When the 45 years is up, you are entitled to bargain for another years. But they don't give the land to you as a freehold. Yes. Now, to foreigners, probably maybe you are not a Ghanaian, but you want to get a land in Ghana. Section 10(1) of the Land Act 1036, which was enacted in 2020, it prohibits foreigners from acquiring a freehold land. I mean, that's not what we are seeing out there, but that is how it's supposed to be. You are an American, you are a Togolese, you are a British, you are a German, you want to acquire land in Ghana. The maximum number of years that you can get, or you're supposed to get, is 50 years. You can negotiate it, but 50 years is the maximum that you're supposed to. That is what the laws of Ghana states. So it's the same thing as the foreigner, a non-family member Ghanaian. Just that a non-member Ghanaian is entitled to a lease period of about 99 years. A foreigner, you are entitled to a lease period of 50 years. You make sure that you go through the right processes. There are most of the time people come to Ghana, they want to purchase a land, they come through agents, and these agents are scams. They don't, most people, because They are maybe familiar with the family, and they know one person or two people in their family. They assume that they can do whatever they want to do. No, if an agent is leading you as a foreigner to buy a land in Ghana, make sure that you identify the traditional leader, here in the chief or the busuapenyi, because agents do not sell land in Ghana. Agents do not sell land in Ghana. Don't be scammed. People bring foreigners to Ghana and they'll be like, oh, we have 100 acres at Ebri, we have 100 acres at Oyarifa, we have 100 acres. No, I'm not saying there are no lands at Ebri or Oyarifa or Konongo or wherever. See the right people. Don't be scammed. Once they show you the people, take whatever document, being it the site plan or the cadastre or the title, the land title, go to Lands Commission, you make a set, and then make sure that the land is genuine. Don't be scammed. Don't be scammed. It's very sad when people come and they want to invest in Ghana and then they get scammed. It's so sad. Now, the mistake that people always do is that because, okay, we have our money. I lived in Greater Accra, so I mean, I have a little bit of experience in Greater Accra. So you have the money, they just meet people and then they conduct transactions with them. Now listen, the problem in Greater Accra about land purchases is so real. If you don't take care, you're going to be the 4th or the 10th person to buy a land in Greater Accra. You have to be very careful when you are buying the land, because now listen, because we do not understand the Land Act and everything, we do things just like that. People do buy lands as Ghanaians but not family members as farmlands. We will treat that one in our next session. People buy the lands as farmlands and then they register them in their names. So for instance, maybe I came to Greater Accra back in the days, in the 80s, in the 70s, in the 60s. Our grandparents were there. They bought the whole of maybe Medina as a farmland and they registered it in their names. Now, what they are doing now is that when you go, you cannot even go to the family, the owners of the land. You cannot go to the owners of the land. You have to buy it through the people who came and bought the land or requested a grant of it to use it for farm or to use it for anything. So what this implies is that if it is a Northerner who purchased the land for whatever purpose, or anybody at all who bought the land, I mean, now a lot of people has bought lands in the name of using it to do estate development, but then they sell the lands. I mean, yes, they are selling the lands. Myself, my land, I bought it from an estate. So what you must know is that the person you are buying the land from, because the person is not a family member, they do not have an inherent right. So in that situation, you are not also the owner of the land. Let me give you a typical explanation. Let's just say that I bought a land from a traditional leader and it was leased to me for 99 years. Now, if I want to sell it to a third party, bear in mind that my original lease period, which is 99 years, has already started. So maybe I bought the land. Most people buy lands and put it down and say, oh, I mean, I'm going to sell it tomorrow. It's an investment. So someone bought land and about 30 years, they've not even done anything on it and they are selling. Mind you, you are only going to buy that lease period of 69 left. you are not going to get another 99 years. That is where the problem is. If you are buying a land from an estate people, you are buying a land from a third party, someone who acquired a land from a family. That is what happens mostly in Accra now. So if you are buying a land, make sure sometimes they give you an indenture which still says that you are entitled to 99 years. It is false. It is not true. I bought a land. I have the lease period of 99 years. If I sell it after 20 years, you are not having the same 99 years, but rather you are having 79 years. So if maybe we've used the land for like 50 years and there is 49 years left, that is what you are purchasing. So what you must know is that when you are buying the land, do due diligence. Make sure that the lease, you know the lease, try and get their original lease period. Don't let them lie to you. When you go to people, they will tell you, oh, I mean, in Ghana, as for Ghana, we are not so particular about lease period. The laws are not strong. No. Maybe today the laws are not strong. Tomorrow, it will be strong. Yes. You will get, now people are learning. We have chiefs that are lawyers. We have chiefs that are judges. So, for instance, if you go and buy a chief, a land from a chief, or you have a land in a vicinity, a community, and a district which has a judge as a chief, don't be confused or don't be scammed that as for Ghana we are not. No, we are. Make sure you do due diligence before you go in for the land. So in summary, if you're a family member, you want to acquire land, you are entitled to a freehold. You can get the inherent right of the land, and then you get the land forever because you are a family member. Make sure you look for your traditional leader. Look for the consent of the traditional leader. Do the necessary transactions and transfer it at Lands Commission to your name. That is it. If you are a Ghanaian and not a family member, you look for the traditional leader, you ask for consent, and then you make sure that all the necessary transfers has been done. But in this case, when you go to Lands Commission, you cannot transfer the whole land entirely into your name. But then you go and register. Register the lease period. You get it? So for instance, if the land title is having Osu Traditional Council or a Manshia Stool land, you cannot go and change the Manshia Stool land into your name. No, you are going to register Mr. A as situated on Manshia Stool land, indicating that the land has not been transferred to you permanently as a freehold, but rather it is a grant that has been granted you to do your development or whatever, and then when the time is up, we will take our land back. If you're a foreigner, the law states that you cannot buy a land with freehold. You have to get a lease period of up to 50 years. In that same way, look for the traditional leader and then make sure that everything is done right. Yes. Okay. So this is what we're going to learn today. Thank you for making time to listen to me today. I plead with you to subscribe to this channel and share this video to whoever that you care. If you know any diaspora who want to acquire land back home in Ghana, share this video and let them get it. Don't let any person get scammed for land purchases in Ghana. See ya. I'll come back to you.